Hello, everybody. My name is Ceirra. I am a BQH practitioner, divine blueprint activator, and I am also an empowerment coach. And I'm so excited because me and Carrie are here today reading the Course of Miracles and doing an introduction with you to the Course of Miracles.
Hello, everyone. I'm Carrie. I'm the Quantum Gypsy. I'm also a BQH practitioner, and I've been working with Ceirra for over a year now. We've been having so much fun on this journey, and this journey has taken us to, hopefully you'll show it, this beautiful book, A Course of Miracles. And boy, has it really changed my perspective, even in the little amount of time that we've been reviewing it. So we're excited to take you guys with us as we're exploring this for our first time and just diving into the concepts on the level that we can at this point.
Yeah, so I've actually owned the book since the beginning of my spiritual awakening, but I never felt the need to open it. I had kind of glanced through it and read a little bit of it, but this is the first time in my spiritual journey where I'm feeling really called to dive deep into the Course of Miracles. So Carrie and I decided that we're going to start choosing different passages to discuss and read with you guys.
Yeah, I mean, we were finding that when just in discussing some of the random pages we turned to, we were having these deep analytical conversations and trying to gain perspective and bounce ideas off each other. And we thought, wait, we should be doing this and doing it along with anybody who wants to join us. And just maybe we can all collaborate and provide dialogue to help support each other through this journey, because it really is a pretty phenomenal thing. And my favorite part, well, the miracles are great, of course, but my favorite part was the atonement piece that I'm really diving into what that means, allowing that just ownership of just being able to speak my truth, because that was so important on my journey.
Yeah, for me, I think it was just looking at what a miracle actually is. So I think I was taught that a miracle was Jesus turning water into wine, or it was just like this small action. And so I think it's given me this gift that like any act of love or just the love itself is the miracle. And so when I started looking at like my own addiction as the miracle, it changed my entire life. And so there's so many incredible things in the Course of Miracles. Carrie and I are in no way trying to like teach the Course of Miracles, but we're just gonna go through it and discuss the meaning that we're getting out of it because it's so powerful. And I truly think that it's one of those books where it's like you just read it through the first time without that deep understanding because it's doing something to your consciousness as you're reading it. It's just opening you up, it's rewiring your brain and allowing you to, it creates space in your life to find these higher perspectives and to create that connection to God. And it's really interesting because I've actually really felt called lately to start using these words like God and atonement, the power of Christ. I've really felt called to return to those words, and I was led directly to the Course of Miracles.
And it's so interesting because being on this journey alongside of Ceirra as well, I have had some little mental struggles recently where that is literally what came out of my mouth was like, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And that was something I was taught as a very early age as a child, but it's something that like I just needed to say those words. And it was like something came over me and I felt just that peace again, that peace that I needed at that moment to keep moving forward, and everything resolved itself and became just wonderful. And I always tell Sierra, we're just going to follow the next cookie crumb to the next cookie crumb. And that's kind of what we're doing. We're on this trail of this journey of our experience. And this is a part of that cookie crumb trail that we're following. And it feels very nice and it feels very comfortable and it feels very loving. So we're taking you guys with us and we're really, really excited.
Yeah, and A Course in Miracles is so interesting because it was just channeled by a psychologist. She was not spiritual at all. She didn't even know she could channel. And one day she just sat down at her computer and this book just flooded out of her. And I was actually just given a course. I was completely downloaded a course that does use all this exact same terminology. And so I do feel deeply connected to it. So, me and Carrie's idea is we're going to be giving you our perspectives of what we're reading, our first reactions of the passages that we're going through, and then we're going to channel Jesus also just to get his perspective and so that we can get more information. So today we're going to be asking him like why was the Course in Miracles brought to us when it was? Or what is a miracle to Jesus? Why was it important that we know what a miracle is in this way?
Yeah. So I'll have to bring up one of the in the front of the book, there's the excerpts, and then there's at the back of the book's the workbook, and it has daily activities for you to do. And the first one that was there was just look at things and accept that they have no meaning. Don't dive deep into it. Like it was supposed to be like a 5-minute practice in the morning, a 5-minute practice in the evening example. But like look at the chair, for example, and just realize that chair has no meaning. And when you start to do that, what I found in my own thoughts is based on perceptions or things I've been told or taught or observed in myself or my own experiences. I've applied almost these trauma meanings to everything. Like I come up with these conclusions before and it's not ones where I'm checking in with my body and my chakras to make sure that's the energy. It is literally my brain coming up with these whole stories, and it's how my brain filed this information. And so now it's giving me an opportunity to stop those thoughts and be like, to check in with myself and be like, is this reality? Is this truth? Or is this my perception? And it's pretty phenomenal when it's just a little activity, right? Like, who would have thought, like, me looking at a chair and saying it has no meaning allows me to go deeper and go, I have applied meaning that may just be my perception and not reality to almost everything. And wow.
Yeah, so when you go through the lessons, there are 365 lessons. You do a lesson a day. And the first like 50 lessons or so are just a completely clearing the slate. So a lot of it is like my thoughts don't have meaning or the one that really, really stuck with me was there are no neutral thoughts. That's the one that I've been going through that I feel like really helped wipe my slate clean. And I was realizing how polarizing some of my thoughts were, especially lately.
Wait, so I'm not there yet. So I'm not the observer. Like when I'm saying I'm the observer, I'm still probably judging. Do I have to come to ownership with that? I've been judging this whole time, saying I've been the observer.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just hope that we have the fun in going through this, not taking ourselves so serious, but also allowing ourselves to just have grace for that, you know, products of our environments in some ways. And yeah, I'm excited to go through all of these, but I don't think I'm ready for the all my thoughts aren't neutral. I just have to look at the chair and just believe it and see it with no meaning. That's my daily task right now.
One step at a time.
Yeah. Well, so let me ask you, at first, was any of the information, because this can be, if you just open a page, this can be looked at a very religious type of text. They use God, they refer to God as a he, that may be triggering for some people. Was this triggering for you at all in the beginning of opening it up? I mean, because it was a year ago and we were going into the Emerald tablets. We weren't really talking about God then. So was it triggering?
I don't think it was triggering. I just don't think I was in that place yet where I understood it. And so
Yeah.
I think now that I'm more open to it, I have this newfound love for Christianity and I can see I can see the importance of that religion.
Mhm.
There are still some things that maybe I don't feel like are completely true to my path, but I can definitely find the love in it. I can find the love in the terminology. And so I think that this is just the next step for my personal journey. So I'm
Yeah.
really excited about it.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, I think that the channeling of Jesus we did a couple weeks ago, or was it a week ago? It was very freeing in some of that when was understood the power of Christ's name, how it was the trump card basically of the absolute. And I think it made it not associate it so much with a religion with me anymore. It made me understand that there was a bigger, on a sacred geometry level, on a bigger level, there's power in something that maybe we don't understand. And maybe that's why we're going down this path, is to understand it better.
Yeah, and I just love Jesus. It's, I was telling Carrie right before this, like Jesus was one of the first beings that ever came to me. And it was just so funny because the first thing I asked him was, Jesus, is that your actual name? Is that what I can call you? And he just started laughing and he was like, you can call me whatever you want. I've had many names. And then he came to me as like a white guy with a beard. And that was just so funny to me. And I was like, Jesus, is that really what you look like? And again, he was just like, I come to you in whatever form is most comfortable to you, and that we're all just fractals of sacred geometry. And so I think if we can just start connecting with that energy of Jesus, I think I'm so excited to get his guidance on the Course of Miracles.
Absolutely. And I'm totally open-hearted to this. I feel it's natural, but I'm going to be honest, the referring to God as a he and a masculine energy does trigger me. And I think it's just, my divine femininity, like just kind of is agitated by that. And so that's my healing. But I want to be honest, like as we're going through this, that doesn't mean I still want to understand it deeper. And I still want to understand that connection deeper. And if we walk away with learn nothing from this, that's okay. At least we tried, right? But I have a deep feeling that we're going to walk away with a better understanding of ourselves and how we've been operating and how to change it a little bit so that we can enjoy life and we can be more tuned with our natural soul. So that is what I'm excited about.
Yeah, and it's so interesting because I'm the opposite. I've actually found comfort in calling God a he. And it's not like I'm not judging it as a gender. It's like maybe it's a father wound that I have, but it makes me feel protected because the masculine energy is the protector. So it truly makes me feel like I'm safe and I'm protected. And I think that that is truly what I needed. Like after all of the things in New Age spirituality, I think that if I saw God as that feminine being, I wouldn't have felt as protected. I mean, I'm not saying that God has a gender. I think that we can put whatever gender on God we want to that is most comfortable to us because God is everything. But to me, it actually felt very soothing to call it a he.
Mhm. It's very like different sides of the coin, and I understand that. I completely can understand that. And yeah, just I don't necessarily want to call God a she either, although a goddess. But yeah, it's just like, that some of that, it's that like what we're going to go into, like our perception and conditioning. And and it's like I'm excited to see where this takes me on this journey to understand why. And what that either wounds may be, that resistance, or what that anger, whatever it is in there. Like I'm excited to go explore it. Let's go find out and get rid of it. Let's go find out and get happy about it.
Yeah, I think that just having these discussions is really cool. And especially between both of us, just because like we can talk about anything. So I'm excited to see where it goes. And then just everything about the course is so healing. So it truly is like lessons in forgiveness of what do you need to forgive yourself for? Um, what are things that maybe you need to shift your perception to see from a higher perspective? And what things are you doing in your life that are not benefiting you anymore that the course can help you release?
Yeah, and we're going to be completely candid on here. So I just that's I think the atonement piece that I'm learning is just to put it all out there and to just be okay. And yeah, I'm excited. Well, do you want to kind of dive into a little channeling now?
Yeah, let's call him Jesus.
Let's call him Jesus. All right. We're gonna close our eyes and just connect in. We're going to put this beautiful light around us, this sphere of pure white light, of pure Christos light, just allowing the higher frequencies to connect our energies, connect to our higher selves, and to connect to Jesus, to ask some questions that we have about the Course of Miracles today. And as you're there, Ceirra, do you feel Jesus around you or your higher self or what's going on?
It feels like I'm being just flooded with Christ light.
Now tell me, what does that feel like?
It feels very elegant. It feels, it's like I'm seeing these like I'm seeing golden light fluttering in. It feels very warm, and I feel a lot of love.
Hmm. You love Jesus and Jesus loves you. Well, are we going to be channeling through your higher self or just talking directly to Jesus?
He's showing me like this holy trinity, where I am just commanding my space to me, my higher self, and Jesus. And it's almost like it creates a holy trinity. So I've really been shown the holy trinity and everything of me, my higher self, and Jesus.
Hmm. Well, we had some questions about the Course of Miracles and actually why we've been called to go through this. It is a very left turn in the journey that we've taken, but we're excited. But why have we been called here?
He's saying people need that fresh first reaction to the Course in Miracles because that's the reaction that people can relate to. So absolutely, it's beautiful to have a teacher for the Course in Miracles to go really deep. But if people are reading the Course in Miracles for the first time, it's almost refreshing to have like that first time reaction. And so since it's our first time going through the Course in Miracles, it's beautiful that we want to share it with other people. People are craving authenticity.
Yes, I can understand with that. Now, why was the Course of Miracles downloaded to the author? I know it was two authors, but the main author that wrote it. Like, what was when we already had the Bible, we already had these other ancient scripts that other religions used. Why was the Course of Miracles needed?
Those other texts, they were written during a time when people were going through the darkest part of the human experience. So, the Bible, for instance, the Bible is an incredible scripture that has some of the most powerful tools to get through the darkest part of the human experience. But that's also why you read it, why it talks about things like stoning, things like um, living during a time where you're in a state of survival. And so the Course of Miracles is it wipes that slate clean, where it was meant for people that they're not just fighting for their basic needs anymore. It's meant for people that can just focus on their spiritual awakening and their spiritual soul's evolution without the tools that were given in the Bible just to get through survival.
Was the Bible just meant for survival? Because I feel like a lot of people have applied it to their lives and have thrived. Was it just because of the times that they were going through?
Yeah, absolutely. And so there's a lot of people now that aren't even willing to look at the Bible because they see the darkness that's in the Bible, because the Bible holds both of those polarities. A lot of the ancient scriptures, um, the Quran, the Bible, it was written at a different time where different things were acceptable in society and written from a more masculine point of view since we were going to a masculine cycle. And so that makes a lot of people uncomfortable. And so the Course in Miracles is a way to, he's calling it a spiritual reset. So it's for people or some of those people that can't see past or appreciate what people during that time were going through so that they can come back to what is truly important in their own spiritual journey now. So I heard somebody say that maybe the Course in Miracles is what the Bible was meant to be. It's just then um the Bible's been altered and used by different civilizations to disempower people. And he's saying that that's not completely true, that the Bible absolutely served its purpose. And some of the most powerful tools for spirituality can be found in the Bible. So that's why I've found so much love for it. As if and then the Course in Miracles, it serves its own purpose as well, where it's rewiring our brain after the intense amount of conditioning and programming that we've had for this entire cycle. It's here to break our conditioning of thousands of years of programming.
Yeah, I think one of the most interesting parts of religions or the Bible is people's blind faith. They've been shared information like that Mary was a virgin, all these things, the the angels came down, all these different stories in the Bible, and they just have faith. But I think it's really easy when you can't integrate it to understanding and wisdom, how you can lose faith in a lot of ways because our brains are still our brains and they're still going to try to talk us out of it. And so understanding the Course of Miracles is really helpful for me because it's about working on getting the brain there. That way it has a long lasting, substantial growth in my life. And it's not just this growth that happens and then I forget about it and I forget to tend to my garden. And all of a sudden I've got weeds and it's just a mess. And so I think that's really where I see the difference in the Course in Miracles. But how are we supposed to use it and apply it to our lives?
Yeah, so I asked him, I've always, we were talking about this earlier, where at the very beginning of my spiritual journey, I was told that I could channel Jesus and that I would be channeling Jesus. And a lot of my own blocks came up because I didn't have that loving relationship with Christianity yet. I was putting my own projections onto what I thought Jesus was, or this idea of Jesus. And even now, I'm like, Jesus, I love channeling you. Like, you're the most incredible energy. He's so playful, he's so loving. But I was like, I don't want to do channelings where we go into his lifetime. I'm just not feeling called like about that. And I know that there are people that love Jesus so much where they want to know exactly what happened in his lifetime. They want to know why these things happened the way that they did. And so I was having a talk with Jesus earlier where I was like, I'm so happy to channel you and your information. I don't want to go into your lifetime. And so now I'm just asking him, like, why do I feel that way? And he's just saying, because the Course of Miracles isn't about him, it's about us. It's about finding the Christ light within ourselves and rewiring our own brains so that we can find our own connection to God. So looking at his life is important because it's like he ran the 4 minute mile. Like he's showing us how we can live in love and how we can find God in our own hearts. But this time now, we can use him for information to get that perspective. But this is the time for us. It's time that we show him that we can be just as great as him and we become his brother and sister.
Are miracles supposed to be this grand uh thing, or is it supposed to be little acts of love?
Love is the miracle. The reality that you're in is the miracle. You're so unique and so beautiful. And every choice you make is the miracle. Every choice you make when connected to God is a miracle because you are allowing the divine to work through you. And so the Course of Miracles is really stripping your conditioning, your programming, your beliefs, so that you can just allow that connection to God to flow through you to create the life that you want for yourself. And when you strip away your erred way of thinking, your thoughts that are actually creating insanity in your life, when you can strip those away and reprogram them, that is when you allow just the Holy Spirit to flow through you to create a better life for yourself and for everybody around you.
Is using the terminology like Holy Spirit, Jesus Christ, God, are these usages of these words going to be triggering for people? And if so, what advice do you have for us and for them?
So, if these words are triggering for you, where in yourself is it triggering? So, is there religious trauma that you're holding on to that is triggering you? There are power to these words. And when you use these words directly, you know exactly what you're talking about. So if people need to use words like source, source energy, pure consciousness, universal intelligence, we completely understand. But we just welcome you with open arms to start using these terminologies because there's actual gematria to these terminologies that will create specific experiences in your life that will solidify your connection to God in your life. And you'll find that if you start using the word God, it will feel more personal because you can see it almost as like cheat codes of this reality. Where when you say, I want to connect to God, you're telling the universe exactly what you need in that moment. And God actually has the same gematria as the word love. And so if you look into the actual numerology behind the meaning of these words, like meaning of atonement, deliverance, a lot of this Christian terminology, if you can release your judgment around these words and start using them, then be the observer to how the words are actually changing your life or having an impact on your life.
I love
And
that.
it's almost like when I say them, he's showing me the purity of the words as I say them. It's like I can feel the purity behind it. And that's why people have been manipulated into using different terminology, is because this terminology is just very pure.
Are there any other final messages that you have for us today as we embark on this journey?
He's just sending so much love to everybody listening to this. He's so excited to go through this journey with us. And he's so excited for us to find the unconditional love in the reality that we're in. Because the reality that we're in is so beautiful. Like through his life, he truly saw the hardships of the human experience. He saw the beautiful parts of the human experience throughout his spiritual journey. And so now it's our jobs to raise from our lower energy centers and to live from our heart. And now I got a picture of him like on the cross, that we're rising above those lower energy centers. We're rising above not feeling safe in our environment. We're rising above releasing fear that we're holding on to, releasing guilt and shame, all of these lower vibrational emotions. It's time for us to face them so that we can let go of them, forgive ourselves for the things that we did when we acted out of survival, so that we can start embracing people from our heart and living in unconditional love. Because the experience that we're having is unlike any other experience in all of creation. So finding the beauty in that uniqueness and falling in love with every single aspect of your life.
Well, if that isn't a campaign that I want to join on, I don't know what is. Thank you so much, Jesus, for joining us today and on this journey.
Love you, Jesus.
Love you, Jesus. How do you feel?
So good.
Yeah. Girl, no, 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 no. I'll just stay here. You can go. I'll stay and talk with him. Love that. I'm excited.
I am too. That was beautiful. I will have an affiliate link in the description if you guys would like to go buy this book so that you can start going through the passages with us.
Absolutely. Get it, don't get it, you can go with us. And also, we're going to be starting up our podcast soon, our book club. And we had chose it a while ago. I guess the timing wasn't right, but we're going to be doing the Kabbalion, one of Ceirra's favorites. And it's not a very big one, but it has what, 7 different principles in it that are just really, really fundamental and learning as well. And we'll be channeling alongside with that as well. So I'm excited about that.
I am so excited for the Kabbalion just because I think that it's impacted my life so much. And when I channel about the all is mind and I channel about the law of vibration and the law of cause and effect, it is so cool because you start to see it in your own life. So it's like if I channel about the all is mind, I will go through that entire week being like, oh my gosh, it really is all in my mind. Like you start having these aha moments where the universe shows you how these universal laws are everywhere around us. And so that to me, that is the most powerful part of the Kabbalion.
Does that mean I was the problem the whole time?
I don't think I can answer that question for you.
The good news is that I get to be the solution. If that's the case, if I was the problem, then dang it, I get to be the solution too. So that's actually the positivity.
What would Jesus say?
Yeah. That's so good. this is a very interesting journey. I'm going to say that, but I'm all about it. So I'm excited to go on it with you, Sierra, and I'm excited to just connect with more people on this journey.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Carrie and I do have our membership platform. It is on Patreon called Quantum Awakening Portal. That description will be down below as well. We do group hypnosis. We do two live events every month. There's BQH channelings on there. There's a community chat. And it's just become such a beautiful experience for both of us. And I think I'm more excited about it now than I have ever been.
Yeah, yeah. I'm excited for everyone to go over there, join up, see what's going on. Yeah, the group hypnosis, we have another one at the end of August we're doing, and then another live event. I think it's the second week of August. We'll post the schedule there. We'll be doing these interactions with the Course of Miracles. We'll have our podcast. We're going over the Kabbalion and of course our live channelings and all kinds of fun stuff, journal prompts. We're going to be changing it up a little bit in August and really excited about the new path we're on.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, everybody, thank you so much. And we'll talk to you next week.
Bye, guys.